Airlines are some of the most visible companies in the world, yet most people assume they own every plane they fly. In reality, the majority of commercial aircraft are leased, not owned. And the reason is rooted in economics rather than logistics. Buying a plane costs an astronomical amount, hundreds of millions of dollars per jet. If an airline bought an entire fleet outright, it would tie up billions of dollars that could otherwise be used for operations, salaries, or expansion. Leasing allows airlines to operate aircraft without a massive upfront investment. It spreads out the cost over years, similar to renting a house instead of buying one outright. Moreover, leasing provides financial flexibility in a volatile industry. Travel demand can fluctuate dramatically due to economic cycles, pandemics, or geopolitical events, and owning planes outright increases exposure to these risks. By leasing, airlines can adapt their fleets quickly, returning planes they no longer need or adding new models without huge capital commitments. This combination of cost savings, risk management, and flexibility explains why leasing has become the preferred model globally. It's a subtle but powerful economic strategy, allowing airlines to operate efficiently while keeping their finances stable and adaptable. New commercial airplanes are incredibly expensive, with modern models often costing between $100 million and $250 million each. Purchasing dozens of these jets would require billions in capital, which most airlines cannot afford without taking on enormous debt. The financial burden doesn't stop at the purchase price. Airlines also face ongoing costs for maintenance, insurance, storage, and regulatory compliance, all of which add significantly to total ownership expenses. Leasing spreads these costs into predictable monthly payments, much like renting a house or leasing office equipment. This arrangement allows airlines to maintain liquidity and ensures they have cash available for operations, employee salaries, and expansion projects. Additionally, leasing often gives airlines access to newer planes with better fuel efficiency and advanced technology. Owning aircraft outright locks a company into a specific model for decades, which can limit competitiveness and increase operational costs over time. For airlines operating on thin margins, the ability to allocate capital efficiently is critical for survival and long-term profitability. Thus, from an economic perspective, the cost savings and flexibility of leasing make it the more rational choice compared to outright ownership. Airlines operate in an industry that is extremely sensitive to economic shocks. Fuel price spikes, global recessions, and pandemics can drastically reduce passenger demand in a very short period. Leasing planes, instead of buying them outright, helps airlines mitigate this risk. If demand falls, airlines can return leased aircraft rather than being stuck with value assets that are no longer profitable. It also allows airlines to scale their fleet up or down based on market conditions without incurring massive financial penalties. Leasing companies act as the landlords of the aviation world, absorbing some of the financial risk while providing predictable costs to airlines. This arrangement also improves airlines' balance sheets. By keeping aircraft off their books as owned assets, airlines maintain higher liquidity, which can lower borrowing costs and improve investor confidence. Essentially, leasing transforms a fixed, high-risk cost into a manageable, flexible expense. From an economic perspective, this is a strategic allocation of capital that maximizes operational efficiency while minimizing exposure to market volatility. Technology in aviation evolves rapidly, and older planes become less efficient over time. Leasing allows airlines to replace outdated aircraft with newer, fuel-efficient models without selling their entire fleet. For example, after the introduction of the Boeing 787 or Airbus A320neo, airlines could lease the latest models to reduce fuel costs and improve passenger comfort. Owning planes outright would force airlines to either operate older, less efficient aircraft or bear the cost of selling and replacing them. Leasing also provides flexibility during market fluctuations. After crises like the COVID-19 pandemic, many airlines reduced fleet size temporarily by returning leased aircraft. When demand rebounded, they could quickly lease additional planes instead of waiting to purchase and take delivery of new jets. This flexibility reduces financial risk and improves operational responsiveness. Economically, leasing transforms aircraft into adjustable tools for meeting market demand rather than static, high-cost investments. It allows airlines to optimize fleet composition dynamically, ensuring that supply matches fluctuating passenger demand efficiently. In summary, Airlines lease planes because it makes economic sense in multiple ways. Leasing reduces upfront costs, minimizes financial risk, and provides flexibility to upgrade or adjust the fleet as needed. Owning planes outright may be cheaper in the very long term, but the associated capital costs and risks make it impractical for most carriers. Leasing allows airlines to respond to sudden changes in demand, technological advances, and market volatility without jeopardizing operations or liquidity. From an economic standpoint, leasing converts a high-value, risky asset into a manageable, predictable expense. It also frees up capital that airlines can use for route expansion, marketing, staff, or other strategic investments. This strategy has become the standard practice in the aviation industry worldwide, even among the largest and most financially stable airlines. Next time you board a plane, remember, the airline may operate it, but they probably don't own it. It's a strategy born from economics, not convenience, ensuring that airlines remain efficient, adaptable, and financially stable. Ultimately, understanding this approach gives insight into the hidden financial mechanics of the aviation industry and how airlines balance cost, risk, and operational flexibility.